from men being afraid to go to women. Women are afraid to go as well.
Yeah.
So if your spouse is not communicating with you, it could be because of the way that you have handled them during a vulnerability.
Yeah.
And that might be something that you need to pray about revisiting to get the courage to try again.
It's not good. We don't like to look at ourselves. We want to protect ourselves. I need to wait. You come? What? You coming for me? No. When I try to be conscious, like I've been with him 25 years, I can look at him sometimes and tell there's something on him. He don't need me to add on him. My job, and again, going back to we see a helpmeet as a weaker vessel. I saw a pastor break it down like this. I was listening to him and he said, when you ask somebody to help you lift something, you don't go to somebody that's weaker than you.
Say it.
You ask someone who is as strong, if not stronger than you.
Right. That's good.
And when I heard that, it made so much sense.
That's big.
I'm his helper. God created me to help him.
Yeah. That's big.
Now this joker can pick up a riding lawnmower. Okay.
He really can.
He can. I don't fool with him like that. But I can tell when something is heavy on him.
Right.
My role
is to help him lift it.
Is to help him carry that.
All right, you guys have mentioned that when Kayla was growing up, y'all did a lot as a family, and I thought that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so wherever y'all went, he was the little handsome third wheel.
Yeah.
So fast forward now. Take us to the last year, the senior year.
Yeah.
Last home football game, last chorus concert, last prom, etc. What feelings and emotions were y'all experiencing during that time?
Well, you know, COVID hit.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
COVID hit
So
March of 2020. So
That's his senior year.
That's his senior year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He didn't early enroll at UNC so that he could experience his senior track year, because he came and created his own little checklist of things that he wanted to accomplish. And and it's still up in his bedroom. And one of the things was to win state in shot put. And he wanted, he wanted to experience senior year. So he did not go early. Right. COVID hit in March. He didn't have a track season. He didn't have a prom.
Everything shut
He
down.
didn't have any of that singing. So on top of us thinking like, oh, wait a minute, our baby finna be gone. Wait a minute, he's finna be 4 hours away. Wait, on top of all of that, we had COVID. But
so it was almost like not being able to mourn properly. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. That was a weird.
Very
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
It was very weird.
It I think it was weird, but I think COVID also gave us extra time.
Okay.
We didn't see it at first.
Right.
So, like you talked about me coming into the school system, I had no desire to work in the school system. I did, but God is always strategically moving things, and we don't understand at the time that He's constantly doing this and lining things up. So I got an email, and I'm gonna make it real quick. I got an email the summer of 2019. Would you be interested? We've always prayed, God, if this is for me, open the door. If it's not, close the door. That's always been our prayer. And so went to the interview, you got the job, okay, went to work, like what in the world? The school system, listen.
Yeah.
It's a different beast.
It is.
It's a different beast with its own language, and anyway.
Check.
Okay, but anyway, so we did that, and March 12th, I was at a training, and everything went. Go home. We're trying to figure it out just for a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks, y'all know it turned into
half a year almost.
But we didn't realize at the time that God was, even in coming to the school system, God was strategic, because I went from having to be at the hospital for 12 hours working with COVID patients, which is where I would have been, to sitting on my front porch with my husband and my son looking at birds.
Oh, look at God.
And taking pictures of birds.
Look at God. Yeah.
So it did give us like extra stress, but in the same breath, it gave us extra time with him.
All things work together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. Like the world was going crazy. It was so much peace at home.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to that point because COVID gave a lot of people opportunity to get to know who you really in the house with. Or who you in the bed with.
It broke some families.
It did break some families.
Yes, it did.
But I can honestly say that we already knew who we were before it hit.
Yeah.
Right.
And so all it was a continuation. We already loved being around each other. We already communicated, openly. We already involved our son. We already did everything together.
Yes.
So when we were together, it wasn't no different. We were like, okay, well, let's do this. All right, let's picnic. Let's go outside and do some s'mores,
Yeah, we can do more things.
Let's go fishing.
We had so much fun.
It almost felt like we were in this protective little bubble.
Right.
And while the world was in chaos, the ruckus was good.
Yeah.
These ruckus was good. The K ruckus was good. We were good. We were good.
And then, and then when the world started back, I'm like, dang, I found a mission.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we go back to school face to face.
Like, what? What is this foolishness?
That is good. That is good.
Yeah. So you took him to UNC that fall while COVID was still going. How did that go? And having to leave.
I was about to say,
What do you remember about that day?
That it was unnatural. As a parent, you are geared and you are taught, and the expectation is that you keep your child protected. It is unnatural to take your child away from home and drop them off with strangers.
And leave. Yeah.
And then leave.
Yeah, that is.
And expect to be happy.
Right.
That is unnatural. I mean, I cried for what, 3
I was
hours?
getting ready to open it and say this is somebody a book title if they want it, but this is what came to my mind. God cried with us.
Oh, yeah.
He really did. When we came down the road, Kristie, she broke and started crying. And it went from a normal day to just torrential rain.
Yeah.
I'm talking about pouring down to where you can barely see in front of you. You have to slow down and all that. And it rained while we cried and cried all the way. And then all of a sudden it let up. And then it was sort of like a peace for a while. We were able to talk to each other after that. But it was hard.
And then when we got home.
Oh, and it broke me. Ego always play a part when it comes to a man. It's just the pride stuff that goes on, and hey, tighten up. You talk to yourself, that self-talk. So I'm riding home, Kristie crying still. She go in and out of it, and I'm riding home, and I'm like, baby, it's gonna be fine. Big boy, he's gonna be fine. We taught him where he needs to go. He's gonna be all right. So we getting all the way home, and what got me was when we came from Anderson, South Carolina. We were coming back through 29. And we passed the dam where we trained on that hill all the time. And I was coming up on that hill, and I looked to the right, and boy, messed me up. And it started coming, and I was holding it tight.
Oh, yeah.
I was holding it, Ed.
I've been there.
Got all the way home.
I just went through this, so I know.
And knew not to do this and did it anyway. I went in this room. God almighty.
Went in this room.
Almighty.
I said, I'm not taking none of this down.
Well, I went in this room and it's like my energy left, man. I was laying on stuff, man. And I'm talking about ugly snot, you name it. But after that, I was fine. I knew it was fine, but it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah. The house, just the sound of the house was different.
Yeah.
It just was different.
My parents, my mom was passed away, but when she was living, she said that's what she loved about always having the grandkids there. Is she said when they're not here, it's so quiet. Because she had 4 kids and it was always loud. She's always fussing at somebody, swinging at somebody, throwing something. Shut up. Yeah. But you miss it when it's gone. And she was like, I can't take that silence.
It's like the house misses the kids too. The house makes sounds. Like you never known the house to creak until they're gone. You're like, I never heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maya can tell you like all the UNC stuff in this room. She's like, well, we got to make this, but I won't let her take it. I will not let her take it down. Like, he got clothes still in the dresser drawer.
I'm gonna be real. So we only have 3 bedrooms, and 2 of our kids are grown, and 2 of them are small. So when DJ went on, I said, well, this can be Khalil's room. And I bought stuff and put balls all up, but I saw that the UNC stuff stayed up. And this is, his room was UNC before he committed to UNC.
You know how it is.
You gotta need a shrine of it, man.
I was like, they don't really go with my new theme. But so he was like, this gotta stay. And I'm like, well, can we get rid of these clothes? It's a medium. You see DJ 6,
Ain't nothing a medium.
Why do we need this camp shirt that's a medium? Because sometimes he just takes it.
I can't throw it away.
No.
So, yeah.
Little boy gonna grow into it. You gotta hold on to that. You know what I'm saying?
Khalil's gonna be a dog. He's gonna be a dog. He ain't gonna need all this bullshit.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate it. So, did y'all wait until he was out the house to kind of discover y'all new normal?
Nope.
Okay, I figured that.
Nope. Again, that word intentional. We were intentional. We knew of married people who, when their children left, they didn't know who. They knew mom and daddy. They knew each other as mom and daddy.
Right.
But they had no idea when the children left out.
Right. They still had.
They didn't know who was that person.
They didn't know that they broke up.
Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah.
They didn't know.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's real.
They did not know.
And so we didn't want to be that way. And again, I don't want anybody that is listening to think that we're like, oh, we got it. No, it takes work. And it still takes work.
Yeah.
It still takes intentionality. I feel like for us, it was important for the long haul of our marriage, for the strength of our marriage, that you don't wait till the nest is empty to get it fortified, to get it ready. You just don't.
Wow. Yeah.
I love Kendall.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Kendall loves me.
Right.
Now, this ain't going to be popular, but when, as a married couple, we start putting our children over our spouses,
Oh, come on.
you are killing your marriage.
Ooh.
Yep.
And I it's not because I know somebody, because that man or that woman. No, that's not how God set it up. Like Kendall said, God set it up. God and the husband,
Yes.
and the wife,
Yes.
and the children.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I love Cayman. He is of me.
Yes.
And I have no doubt I'll take a bullet for that boy.
Absolutely.
Right.
But this one,
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Come on.
this one,
Yeah.
him, I'm bonded to him.
Right.
And we about 2 years ago, we were just joking around, and he said, why you love me? I said, because you're me.
You're me.
You are me now. And I'm you.
Right.
And we don't say that to be anybody that hang out with us. They know we the same all the time.
Right.
We don't put on.
No.
If we had an argument and go to church, don't hold my hand in church because I'm still mad at you. Now I'm gonna sit up close to you because I still love you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's warm up here.
Yeah.
That's
Don't.
Yes, you can see the real my feet.
right.
Look,
You can't.
what did I tell you? I said, what is it I told you the other night? I said, be receptive or something.
Yeah,
I was like, open up.
Yeah.
That means go
Facilitate.
ahead and open it
Yeah.
so I can get in there.
Let me get in there.
And if I'm,
That's her spot.
if I'm mad at you, no, we ain't finna kid, but I'm still.
I'm still in her spot. It's still in her spot. That belongs to her. Whether she mad or not, that doesn't belong to me. That's her spot.
And
This is some free game to all the men. Okay.
Please give it to him.
When you having a problem, that's a pretty tough snag that you're trying to get by. A disagreement, if you will. Wife is mad, you done something silly or whatever the case may be. I'm telling you, church is a good thing. Because when you go sit in that pew and you listen to that word will start breaking things down, and then all of a sudden you can slide the arm around a little bit. Then in the midst of it all, baby, I'm sorry.
He got to soften up.
Lay it at the altar. That's what we're going to do. We're going to lay it right here at the altar.
That's game. I'm telling you.
Hey,
That's
who
good
gonna
stuff.
argue with the Lord about it?
Not nobody.
So, hey,
Make sure you go to a house where the true gospel's being
Yeah.
known. Because if it's some fake phony stuff, it ain't gonna break no yokes.
But you know, even with you saying that, my real talk, it's good to go to church. It's we need that fellowship. We do.
Mhm.
But I can't love him first until I understand how much God loves me.
That's right.
Yes.
And real talk, if I have to understand, I get on God's nerves. I know I got to. I'm a handful. I'm a baby girl of 6.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna tell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ought to tell the
The
kids.
baby girl.
Yeah, they tell the kids.
But
And I'm an older sibling, so I know how to
yeah,
handle
so
that
this
whole
thing right
situation.
here. But I know that God has forgiven me for so much. I do stuff all the time that requires his forgiveness. And sometimes he reminds me of that when I'm looking at him sideways.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we need to be in the house and you need to be under good teaching. And then when you get home, you need to take that good teaching and then you need to work on your relationship with the Lord for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can be a better wife to him.
That's good.
I want to be a better wife to him because I'm his friend. I like him.
Yeah.
I've been in conversations and women like, girl, I'm so glad to get away from that man.
I understand that.
That's your
As
story.
soon as we get through eating, I'm going to text mine.
Oh, yeah.
I can't co-sign that. I like mine. I like him.
Oh, yeah.
He is my friend.
Yes.
And
Yes, that's good.
he'll force feed me some football. And he'll force feed it.
I believe it. I believe it.
But because I like him,
Yep.
I make that intentionality to try to listen.
Try to
And every
listen,
once in a
try to
while, I
think.
try to say something about a play.
that I know nothing about.
But then that makes him feel
Appreciate it.
appreciated, heard,
Yes.
respected.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if he feels respected, he's going to protect me.
Yes.
That's right.
That's very true.
And so
Yes.
all that stuff, I mean, you have to, it's an ingredient in the marriage.
It is.
It ain't one thing that's going to make it right.
Right.
This ring don't make it right. Having the pretty dress, singing the right song, the perfect venue. It don't matter how much you got your face beat, how much your beard is tightened up.
That's right.
It's more than that.
Absolutely.
It is so much more.
And I'm glad you said it about him protecting your heart. Because I think a lot of times when we hear, well, the man is the protector, they think, oh, he'll take a bullet or he'll die for me.
Yeah.
But it's so much more
deeper,
about
It's deeper,
how
yeah.
he lives.
Yeah,
for you.
I had to
Does he
learn that.
live sacrificially?
Yeah. I had to
Does
learn
he
that.
protect your
Yeah.
feelings?
Yeah.
You know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you even pointed that out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So I know that, we've been talking to you both, people of faith, and I watch your Facebook lives and you share so much about yourself and bless so many people with the encouragement that you share. And so I appreciate what you do
Thank you.
there. What's proven to be more spiritually challenging? Like building a closer relationship with God in the midst of a super hectic schedule, or building your relationship with him while having plenty of time, but you have to adjust to your new normal. Like back when y'all were here, was it harder for you to build a relationship with God then, or now when you have all the time in the world, but your new normal has your world flipped upside down? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. For me personally, as a mama, I think sometimes we define ourselves by our kids. And so it's easy to get caught up in the hectic and it almost gives you an excuse.
Come on.
Well, I gotta be a wife and I gotta be a good wife and I gotta be a good mama and I gotta work and I gotta keep
And
the
that's
house.
what God wants anyway.
Yeah, I'm doing God's work, girl.
Right.
I am. And I don't want to sound super spiritual, but for me and for us, everything is. And I got reminded of Mary and Martha. I ain't doing nothing wrong. Martha wasn't doing anything wrong.
She's been a busybody.
She just wasn't sitting in the best place.
Right.
She wasn't sitting at the feet like Mary chose to do. And I think sometimes when we get so busy, it's easy to say, well, Lord, you know my heart. And I'm so tired. I was working and doing and taking care of the house and working and all this stuff. And then when he takes some of that off your plate, now what's your excuse? What's your excuse? So I think sometimes for me, the chaos offered me an excuse. But then when it quieted down, I didn't necessarily know what to do with the time then either.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an adjustment, and it's a
Right.
continued being intentional
Right.
in any season. So whether you busy, you got to be intentional. Find 5 minutes
Yes.
to talk to God. I find 5 minutes to talk to him.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
That's good stuff.
If I want him to rub my feet, I'm gonna find 5 minutes to sit on that couch for him to do it.
And will.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
And I want to offer like another perspective on that, and this has happened to me as well.
Right.
Sometimes, you know, when you have the time to do it, and when you have the time, a lot of times you're in a good space. You know, things are good, you're comfortable, life is, you know, good, everything's rolling. You know, the kids are fine, wife is fine, yeah, everything's going, and so you just kind of bask in the glory, so to speak, and don't really have to seek God. But the chaos forces you to seek God sometimes.
Yeah,
and when that's going on, it's like, man, I know I shouldn't be responding to this situation like this or feeling this way. God help me. And next thing you know, I need to seek
almost
you.
Almost like it'll draw you.
It kind of forces you to seek him and to pray and to read his word, because at that point when you're in chaos, you're looking for peace.
Yes.
You say, I am peace, so you're going to go where you know where peace is. I agree with you, because sometimes that does happen. You know, in chaos, you use it as an excuse. But on the other side of that coin, that chaos can also reel you in or push you towards it. Like a storm pushes you a lot of times, you know, so yeah.
Man. Whew. Yeah, y'all are giving us some nuggets, boy. Y'all giving us some nuggets.
I know it, baby. You know, woo. You got stirred up there.
Doing your good work.
So we've seen you guys out, so I think we know some of this, but from now that you've been empty nesting for a few years, what's some of the pros and cons? Like, we saw you guys out the other night, so we know that's one of the pros. I'm probably going to see a lot more movies.
All right, cons. We can go forever on pros. Let me just think of a con.
I mean, we miss him.
Yeah. We miss him. We miss him a lot.
How long did it take you to adjust him being gone?
It took her longer than it took me.
Yeah.
I guess because he's a son, I'm a dad. It's just that thing, you know.
And you know he's doing the right thing being there.
Yeah, and you know, and I've heard this before. You guys have heard it before too. But it is something about a son and his mama. It is. It really is.
My goodness.
It is. I'm gonna tell you, and he and her.
Wait, babe. Let's pause it. Let's unpack.
Let's unpack.
I
didn't even say that.
Listen.
Well, y'all talk. Go ahead.
I don't mean to jump
No, go ahead. I want to hear.
We got a little one. I can already see this is gonna be. To pull him from her.
He'll be 2.
He'll be 2, and I'm talking
weeks.
about. Can you put baby's clothes on? Sure, I can put. Sit still, boy. Do I need to pop you?
My mama touched him one time.
She come in. Hey, mama's man.
Yeah.
Now keep that same energy.
Yeah.
You didn't want clothes on when I put them on, but he wants your clothes on. Clothes on.
It's the same young man I saw you at Walmart. Yeah.
It's just something. It is.
It is. It's something about a son and his mama. It's not saying that they don't love us. You know, I get it. And that's I'm able to compartmentalize that too. Because at one point in our life, now I'm going to be honest with you. At one point in my life, the enemy tried to slide that thing in there.
Yeah.
And made me almost feel jealous a little bit. And you can feel that because I'm like, dang, they tight. Mama can say that thing, and he be like, and I tell him, and he just why? I want to question him. I'm like, dude, no, this is, and then he gets where you want to say, well, mama tell him, but then that line comes, so, we had to rebuke, had to rebuke that early and get past that. But, I just embraced the fact that, and I looked at my own life. I love my daddy, but good God Almighty, my mama, and I can sit here and just speak for most of the men. They just like that and everything. Yeah. So,
So I get it.
Yeah. That, moms and sons are something else. So it was hard on her whenever he left me, it was like, hey, I'm proud of you. I know you're doing what you're supposed to do. This is what you're living out the plan that we set.
Absolutely.
We sat and talked about. So I'm proud of you. So you go out there and do your thing. So, but mom, she just like, oh, I want to call him. I want to see him. And thank God for FaceTime.
Oh, yeah.
Because that really helps the whole situation.
Yeah.
But he's a mama's boy. He tight with his mom now.
When you think about it though, even boys that don't have good moms, they still like that about their mom. They'll cover up stuff so that they can stay with her, even though they need to get taken away. So that's a real thing. But if you think about the role that a mom plays in her son's life, like I don't have to teach him to be a man. That's on edge.
That's right.
I am there to love him through these lessons.
Right.
See, my relationship with Brielle, I love her too.
Yeah.
But my responsibility to her is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to make
So
sure
the role
she
shift a little bit.
It should
Hold your finger. Hold that finger. She ain't got a finger that big, but you wrapped around her.
The truth is shame. The devil. It's worse. It is worse.
I can't lie.
It's so much worse.
We just had a conversation probably about a month ago, and this is a little off the question that you asked, but I think it's important for people to think about it this way. Again, our faith. The reason I think that God had Adam and Eve was not that there was a greater and a lesser.
Okay.
It was because that God himself is so great. There's no way Adam could have held all the greatness of God.
Come on.
So he needed something else, another vessel to hold the rest.
I love that.
That's good.
And so
That's good.
there are qualities in him that they show God. They're God. They're God's strength. There's God, everything. But then there's qualities in me. And as a mom, that compassion, that nurturing, that love. And I'm not saying that fathers are not capable of that. But when you take this and you take this and it comes together, you see the fullness.
Okay,
Your children receive the fullness of God. And it's not about daddy better than us. Don't talk to daddy. No, it's God put this in him and God put this in me. And when you see it together, that's who God is. That's the face of God. There are times that God has had to whoop me and be very stern with me because I done messed up. And there's some times that God has come alongside of me and just let me sit in his lap. He didn't give me any kind of correction. He didn't give me any kind of chastisement. He just let me just sit up and be nurtured in his lap. And I think when you come together as parents, understanding that there's some great things that you bring to the table. There's some great things that I bring to the table. But baby, when we bring them both to the table, oh, it's a buffet, honey. Everybody is covered. Everybody gonna be full. Everybody's gonna be good.
Right.
Now the cons, I think because we've been so intentional,
Right.
What?
I'm trying to.
What are some of the pros? Because some of the pros might be just a given for you, but some other people might not even think to enjoy those things.
Every night is a date night.
Oh, yeah.
Well, for you. But for the other people, they might have to now be intentional if they haven't already.
That's it.
But
They have to be. And that's why, like, when we have holidays, it's like we do this anyway. Valentine's Day roll around. What you gonna get your wife, man? I already got it for her.
Yeah.
We do this all the time, so it's not like we're just gonna fake today. She's my Valentine every day. And so it's like that even around Christmas. She's like, what you want? I'm like, baby, you give me, I already got it. Let's give somebody else something. It's that type of thing. And I think that's what you mean by saying that every day is a date night. Every day.
And if you're not already there, that should be a little point right there to let you know before the nest get empty. Work on that.
That was gonna be my next question. Like, okay, so for the people, I've been seeing like the graduation proofs pop up, and so I think it's becoming real for the people that are graduating in May, and the parents are starting to put posts like, "Oh my God, this is happening."
Yeah.
What is your advice to those parents that are just now feeling this thing like, "Oh my God, it's about to happen"?
Talk about it. Talk about it. Be a safe place for your spouse to talk to you. That's key. Be a safe space. Him talking, he touched on like how the enemy tried to make him jealous of something that wasn't even there.
Yeah.
But I had to be a safe place for him to be able to talk to me.
What does that look like?
Shutting your mouth sometimes.
Yeah. And as from a man's standpoint, you have to, I just keep going back to pride, and that's what we have. I felt weak to go to her and talk to her about my weakness.
That's the thing.
And I'm like, dang, but I felt embarrassed to go talk to my brother about it. Like, dude, how am I gonna tell a guy, oh man, I feel jealous of my wife because my son seems to love her more than me? It's like, so that's why you see men internalize a lot, you know? And true. So that's communication between spouses are important. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna suck up my pride and I'm gonna go to her and I'm gonna tell her. And I'm like, I'm not telling you to back off of Cayman. Don't back off your relationship with him. I'm just letting you know that, you know, I need you to be praying for me with this because it's a problem with me and I can see, you know, the differences and everything, and then just talking to her. All right. And then the Lord jumping in the whole thing, fix the whole situation because all it wasn't her relationship was better. It wasn't that I didn't have a relationship with Cayman. All it was is the enemy had found out the insecurity in me.
Yeah.
And all he was doing was flashing it in my face. Like, see, every time they had a good moment, I would see it as, I felt left out.
Yep, I know that moment.
I really did.
Exactly what you're talking about.
I felt left out. And I'm like, dang, man. And then I started being in, like, knowing it and then casting and rebuking it and say, okay, they having all the fun. Let me enter in. And when I decided to do that, it got rid of it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's communication.
Yeah.
Going back to that, it's the main thing.
Yeah.
It's talking because your spouse loves you. They're with you for a reason, whether you get along or not. It's something there. It's something at the foundation, at the core of why y'all together.
Right.
You know
Go back to that. Find that.
But think about what you said. I want everybody to hear what he said. You thought about talking to her and you like, no. You thought about talking to your brother. So he had already been in his thoughts for a minute before getting the courage to talk to her. So think about how important it was for her to be open and listen to him without
Yeah.
Because think about how she would have broken him if he had been vulnerable and made the decision to be courageous to talk about it. And she had said, oh my God, you jealous of a little boy. You still
must be crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God, you need to let that go.
That's the point I want to make right now, Maya. Not the point I was going to make, but you brought it out. It's so good that you said that. Every time that I've ever gone there, I said, I get kind of chills thinking about it. Because that was a hard thing for me to do.
Absolutely.
One of the hardest things to do.
I know how hard that is.
But every time I would go to her, it was a safe place. She never made me feel weak or weaker than I felt when I came to her.
Right.
When I walked away from the situation, I felt stronger. So I praise God for that because I think if that would have happened the first time, I wouldn't have gone back.
Oh yeah, the wall.
And think, okay, so you handled it perfectly and it was still hard for him to do. So just imagine if you, and it's not just, men being afraid to go to women are afraid to go as well. So if your spouse is not communicating with you, it could be because of the way that you have handled them during a vulnerability. Yeah. And that might be something that you need to pray about revisiting to get the courage to try again.
It's not good. We don't like to look at ourselves. We want to protect ourselves. I need to wait. You coming for me? No. When I try to be conscious, like I've been with him 25 years. I can look at him sometimes and tell there's something on him. He don't need me to add on him. My job, and again, going back to, we see a helpmeet as a weaker vessel. I saw a pastor break it down like this. I was listening to him and he said, when you ask somebody to help you lift something, you don't go to somebody that's weaker than you.
Say it.
You ask someone who is as strong, if not stronger than you.
Right.
That's good.
And when I heard that, it made so much sense.
That's big.
I'm his helper. God created me to help him.
Yeah.
That's big.
Now this joker can pick up a riding lawnmower. Okay.
He really can.
I don't fool with him like that. But I can tell when something is heavy on him.
Right.
My role
is to help him lift it.
Is to help him carry that, not to add to that. And if you're feeling like that he or she doesn't want to talk to me, just take a minute and look back, flip back, and think about the time that they did come to you. What did you say? What was your response?
Right.
Even if you justify, because sometimes we justify it in saying,
oh yeah,
I don't know where in the world you got that from. That's crazy. Negro, please.
yeah.
All of that.
You justified, but do you need to say it?
Yeah.
In order for me to create a safe, I don't ever worry about where he is. Ever. I don't ever worry about what's in his phone. Ever. Because I know that I have entrusted him with my heart. And he likes me. He's my friend. He's my best friend. And he ain't gonna hurt me. Because he set that up. He has been intentional to protect me in that way so that I don't have to be afraid that I'm submitting to him. That he has proven that. His actions, not his words, his actions.
Right. And I don't know how to deal with me knowing I hurt her. I don't care how it is. That would be like torture for me. You know, and that goes for anything too. When I'm talking to young men about infidelity, just anything that that's counterproductive in your marriage. You always gotta protect your wife, and if she's gonna get hurt, some things gonna go wrong, but you want to make sure that you're not causing it. And I just couldn't bear it. I don't care what it is. So I've told her, you don't have to worry about me, about any of that type of stuff, because I'm not gonna hurt your heart. Never.
And be a safe place for each other.
That's right.
Be a safe place.
Yes.
I don't want him, listen, I want him, you come talk to me about football. I may not know what you're talking about half the time, but babe, I'm going to get in there with you.
Yes.
I want him to come talk to me about if it's something sexually he done picked up in his mind. Come on, let's talk about it with me.
Pick me to try.
You want something? You want me something? You want something you want to eat? Come talk to me. Something you want me to come talk to me because there's somebody else waiting in the wing that'll listen to him.
Yes.
There's somebody else waiting in the, and I'm not saying there is somebody, but I mean, if I'm not that safe place, there's some other places that will be.
And as our mentor puts it, he said that it's unfair to tell, he was talking specifically about men. So he was like, to tell your husband that he can only shop at your store and then refuse to put what he needs on your shelf. You can't go nowhere else to shop, but I can't give you that. I can't give you that. I can't give you that.
We don't get that. And I don't know. I think you talked about what does that look like being a safe place? And when the children leave, how do you be married? It starts for real with liking the person. I think a lot of people are in love with the idea of being married.
Yes.
And they don't know what it requires to have a marriage.
A good one.
Right.
And they stay in it.
If we don't wear these wedding rings, we're still married. My heart is still connected to his. His is still connected to mine.
That's right.
If we don't have that piece of paper from the state of Georgia, we're still married.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because we put the work in. I'm not always a safe place, but I'm telling you that I make the point to try to be.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I make the point to try to be his biggest encourager.
Right.
So he's not looking for a cheerleader anywhere else. I try to be that place. My shoulder is much smaller than his, but baby, if you need to lean, I will brace up because I don't want him leaning anywhere else. I can't ask him not to go somewhere. I can't ask him not to shop anywhere else.
Right.
If I'm unwilling.
Fully able and unwilling.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say something. You and I, we worked together quite some time at the middle school. And I'm pretty laid back and not withdrawn, but you didn't see me in the break room too much. You didn't really see me in the break room. And I'm going to tell you, you didn't see me doing a whole bunch of talking to a lot of female staff too. Not that I didn't want to talk to them or anything like that. It's because when I communicate with my wife, I have no desire to even share anything with anybody else. Not to be withholding information with anybody, or not to be anti-social. I just didn't feel like all of my needs were met with her as far as a communication standpoint, that I didn't even desire or need to talk to anybody else. And I think like if that was shut down at the home and you didn't have your spouse to talk to, that's going to open the door to somebody else. Not the fact that you may want to talk about something wrong or that's going to go against your marriage, but it'll start off like, the enemy, he seeks to sift you. So it can start off with a, hey, and how you doing today? What'd you eat for lunch? You want to try this? I like that. And then it grows and grows and grows. And then next thing you know, you're in a full-blown affair with somebody over here. And it's because a need hasn't been met over there. Not to take you off the hook, but that's just how it happens. But the fact that need is met and that we do it, so well that I feel like we do, that there's no need to even open that door over there. Because you do have people that are coming to you with their problems. Some of them are male or female, and some females, they would come and they would say things and they would ask questions. And I would use wisdom. You might need to talk to such and such over there, which is a female, or something like that. I divert that whole shit. Not saying she's trying to come at me in that way, but I would just, my antenna would go off and my flags go like, no, don't even address that. Now, if she needs something, you don't have to be the one that helps her. Put her with somebody that's neutral and do that. And it's because of the relationship that I have with her.
That you're able to do that.
Yeah, that I'm able to do that. I don't feel a need to open up that conversation with somebody else.
Because that's where the communication is where friendships are built. And then friendships are where real relationships are built. And so even though it might start off as nothing, it could go from 0 to 60 real fast if you are dealing with neglect on this side.
Right, on that side.
And then it may not even be your intention for it to be that. But
So there are no excuses, but there are reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
That's true.
Yeah. So
that's true.
Look, that was good. I'm gonna close on that. So I want to thank y'all so much for coming up in
Thank
here
y'all for
and blessing us.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
Thank you for sharing your stories.
Yeah.
And y'all are transparent. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
So you both are doing amazing things in the community, writing books, hosting conversations. You came and has his own clothing brand. The giveaways, butcher brand. So please tell the people how they can follow you and take advantage of the great things that you're putting out.
You go ahead.
We want to hear about all of it.
I give it to you.
Well, like you said, I do. I have an encouragement little snippet on Tuesdays.
Ain't no
on
little.
Facebook.
She got a podcast on Tuesdays. At what time?
Well, it varies between 6 and 8 on Tuesdays, and it's Talk to Me Tuesday, and you can find me on Facebook, and just trying to be encouraging to others, because I find that as I encourage others, I'm encouraged.
Will you tell them how to spell your name? Because you can spell Kristie a bunch of different ways.
Ooh, it's Kristie with a K, Kristie. Starks Ruker. And if you know me in Hartwell, you know me as Starks. So Kristie Starks, if you do that, it'll take you. But also Talk to Me Tuesday, Talk to Me Ministries. You can find me under that as well.
It'll bless your life.
Oh,
It'll bless your life.
And, God is he's got some other stuff that he's cooking up right now. It just ain't done yet.
Let's go. In the book? You wrote
Well,
a book?
I wrote a book, Change the Game, is help athletes earn scholarships and in a changing world of NCAA and transfer portals and all that. And when I wrote the book in 2021, I even said that it's going to change. Even so. And since then, it's changed drastically since then.
Right.
So, I may not write a follow-up book. Somebody else needs to pick that up. But I am in the process of writing another book that's coming out soon, I hope, and everything. So we got that going on. But Instagram, I'm Coach Ruck 98, and on Twitter X is Kendall Ruker. So follow me, check me out, and see what's going on. If you want to follow our son, he's Ruck the Butcher on Instagram and KRuck75 on Twitter. So
how can they order the Butcher brand clothing?
Well, he has various places here in Hartwell at Lake Hartwell Collectibles uptown, the old Gallant Belt. He has apparel there.
You went way back with the Gallant Belt.
He did. The Gallant Belt, baby. That's a different belt. That's different.
You have to be from Hartwell to know about the Gallant Belt. Go ahead.
Right across from the courthouse and everything. Lake Hartwell Collectible. website has his own website. It's ruckthebutcher.com.
Yeah.
And also North Carolina Heals for Life and NIL website. You can also, get some things. And then he has his stuff in stores. Franklin Street.
Franklin Street.
Chapel Hill Sportswear, Johnny T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he got some things going on. So, yeah.
Also, I just got to say, I'm also a co-founder of another podcast, Sister to Sister. And you can catch snippets of that on Instagram, and we're not on Spotify yet, but just it's Sister to Sister.
Like the number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, it's Roman numeral 2.
Okay.
So yeah, you can find me chatting on there too.
Who are you? Who is it?
Kayla Orsley.
Yeah.
She and I. It's just,
I didn't know.
It's just
go
two girls talking, two sisters talking, and just encouraging one another. Real talk. Anybody, like I said, anybody know us, we like this all the time. This ain't, we ain't dressed up for y'all. We love y'all, and we're so honored that y'all ask us to come, but we ain't do nothing special for y'all. Right. We just the same old. Just killing.
But I will say this though, my wife's not gonna do it. I beat my chest for her, but she's an amazing mouthpiece for Christ. Lord has surely chosen her to give the word, and not only just the word, but encouragement to young women. And she does an outstanding job. If you haven't heard her speak, please go to her Facebook Live or whatever. You heard what she said, but she's amazing. I'm telling you, she's anointed, and she's gonna do some things that change some lives for a lot of women out here. So
I agree.
Yes.
Look at y'all. Y'all look at them.
I'll pay you for that later.
Yes.
But thank you.
I don't know if I have a form of thank you. Like, my son also was recruited by UNC, and this guy gave me great counsel all the way through the recruiting process. That's why I'm telling you to go get his book. He was on point with how everything, he told me everything. Like he said, the offer's coming this time, and it came. So
thank you, man.
You gave me some great words, great advice.
I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Well, what kind of advice can I give? Now, he's a walking legend up there at UNC.
Listen,
yes, he is.
I try to, when I go to UNC, I try to stay away from him.
He's posted, won the national championship. This guy right here. Like I said, people are not going to brag on themselves, but I'm going to do it. He's a legend up there at UNC. And I knew you're not taking anything from DJ. He's an awesome football player and young man. But I said, look, man, you a legend up there? There's no way they're going to turn away a legend and a really good football player and the whole pedigree bloodline thing. That was easy. So, that was an easy decision for UNC and the right decision, man. But appreciate you as well.
Mm-hmm. For more information about our coaching services, courses, marriage tools, events, and getaways, go to onevisionerc.com. That website again is onevisionerc.com. If you had a good time hanging out with us and you got something out of it, go ahead and subscribe so you won't miss the next one. Like it so we'll know you enjoyed it, and share it with somebody so they can be blessed too. We'll see you next time.